Hi, my name is Maren. You probably heard the message that I left earlier.
Yeah?
Are you a physician?
No, but are you a patient here?
I am, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, can I just pull up your chart? Because we didn't send anything about experimental, we sent a note about our vaccines because there was something in the news and we wanted our patients to not call about the clinic about it, but we didn't send anything about an experimental treatment. We did not do that.
Okay, what did you refer to when you sent out this communication? What vaccine did you refer to?
I'm not sure what you mean. We sent out like a mass email to all our patients. It was mostly addressed to patients over 80 years old because there was a news article saying that doctors' offices are going to start giving the COVID vaccine. So it was just basically a mail out to let patients know that we'll let them know as soon as we know what's going on and to not call the clinic asking about it. But it's for the vaccine.
What kind of vaccine is that? What vaccine? Against what? Against what is that going to stimulate an immune response in your patients?
It's the COVID vaccine. That's what it was.
Okay, let me inform you about this right now, because obviously you have no understanding about these matters. Otherwise, you wouldn't be talking like that, and you also wouldn't be sending out misleading communications like that.
Okay, you need to stop talking to me like that. I'm just trying to explain to you that we did not send out an email about it's the COVID vaccine. We were just
you're misleading your patients. You're misleading your patients because this COVID vaccine is not a vaccine. It's an experimental treatment. It does not stimulate any immune responses. That's why I would like to talk to a physician about it.
Okay, you're not going to be able to talk to a physician. If you have any problems, you can call public health. This is a bit ridiculous. I'm sorry. Nobody else has called us about this.
Well, it doesn't matter if nobody stands up to injustice. I do stand up to injustice. Okay. And this is a false information. One more time, I'm going to escalate this. This is going to go public on Facebook. I'm recording this call right now. And you are extremely misleading your patients. I don't know if you want to be later on sued in court for giving your patients toxic injections, even so you don't have them ready. My name is Maren Moltan. My telephone number is 613-604-5945. I'm with the physician Alex Duong. I'd like to talk to him.
Can you spell your last name for me?
Yeah, Molthan. Mary in the beginning, Nancy in the end.
Yeah, I could see Maren.
So again, I'd just like to specify one more time. I sent you a reply on Facebook over your Facebook page. And I would like for you to understand my reply. I protest this misleading terminology, and you will be liable in court for this absolute deception. You have to understand this because your physicians will be subject to removal of their practicing license with this kind of misleading. It's illegal to do that to your patients. You're laughing at me about this?
I really don't know what else to say.
Do you have training in molecular biology? Do you understand anything about vaccines? Do you know what a specific immune response is, ma'am? Do you have any training in molecular biology?
No.
Okay, good. Then you shouldn't be laughing at me. You should be welcoming new information. Honestly. In case you don't know these things, you shouldn't be mocking and laughing at people who are serious about this incredible deception that lets people die left, right, and center because they are not able to come to an informed consent when it comes to this experimental treatment that you are misleadingly calling a vaccine. This is yes, please. Yes, please.
Okay, just 1 second.
Thank you. Yeah, they're all working a little bit too much in that clinic, I think.
Thank you for holding. This is Corinne speaking. I'm one of the nurses.
Hi, Corinne. How are you today? My name is Marin.
Yes, I was informed by the receptionist. So you said you received an email?
I did, and I wanted to...
Yeah, did you read it?
I did, ma'am, yes.
Yes, so it says on the email that the government announced that the clinics will be organizing the COVID-19 vaccination, but to be honest, they didn't coordinate with us yet. So the reason why we sent that email is because the government said it incorrectly. So we want our patient to be informed that it's not us doing it. And we called public health today as well because a lot of patients are calling us inquiring about that. And we were informed by public health that they don't have any information as well. So I believe the government is setting up the COVID-19 vaccine in the wrong way. So we really have to wait and see what's going to happen next. Right now we're informing our patient to still go to the public health website, which we attached to the email. And there's a link that you can open and read about the COVID-19 vaccine.
Okay,
update.
I understand that you did not read the reply that I sent to the clinic. Is there any way that you have access to the information that I sent to the clinic over the Facebook page? There's a big problem with this communication. And I'd like for you to be aware of how wrong this communication is. It's actually criminal to communicate that way because if you are in fact referring to the experimental treatment, that is not a vaccine. Do you have training in molecular biology?
Ma'am, I'm not trained to do that. But
Okay, well, I would like to talk to somebody who is trained to do that and who can make a statement about how the clinic is misleading their patients about the experimental treatment that is not a vaccine and that does not stimulate an immune response against COVID-19. That is misleading and it's criminal to communicate that way. That is close.
No, ma'am, we are not saying that all patients should take the vaccine.
That's not my problem, ma'am. You are not referring to what I said in my reply to your communications. That's why it would be really essential that you get access to your Facebook communications. That is important for the clinic. Yes, you do have a Facebook page.
No, it's not ours. It's not owned by us. Someone created it, but it's not for us. It's not us who's managing that one.
Okay, that is an important information. Maybe you should state that on the website of the clinic.
We don't have a website as well, ma'am.
Thank you for that information. Now, that is actually adding to clear this up. What other ways are there to get in touch with the clinic and in writing voice concerns about the illegal practices in the communications of the Carson Clinic? Carson Medical Clinic. Excuse me, Carson Medical Clinic.
Yeah, what kind of illegal communication? We are not posting
It is
something
illegal
online.
and misleading and therefore subject to your physicians losing their license to call the experimental treatment for COVID-19 a vaccine. It is not a vaccine. It's an experimental treatment. And that is misleading in your communications.
Well, ma'am, we are just following what the public health is imposing.
You're just following your government's orders. That has a very bad, you know, that you realize that
in Canada.
Excuse me?
Well, we have the same government, ma'am. You're also living here in Canada, right?
And what is that supposed to mean? You cannot,
'cause you were saying that-
you cannot to resort, what you're telling me is the clinic is unable to resort to a correct terminology because the government doesn't use correct terminology? Is that what you're arguing here?
No, ma'am. I was saying we are following the public health recommendation.
Why would you do that?
Well, that's how it is. We are on healthcare, and public is our priority. We are serving the public.
you are misleading the public in your communications about an experimental treatment that is not a vaccine. And I'd like for somebody who is trained in molecular biology from the Carson Medical Clinic to explain to me why the clinic thinks it's okay to mislead their patients in such communications.
Okay, I'll raise this concern to Dr. Duong. You are being rude to us already.
Thank you.
Let Dr. Duong know of what's happening right now.
Please, yes. Would you?
Okay, thank you so much.
Could you tell him that I'd like for him to talk to me on the phone about this and explain this to me?
Well, I'm gonna let him know of what transpired to our conversation.
I really know, I appreciate very much that you are all very hardworking in favor of your patients. And I apologize if I'm taking a lot of your time. I understand that, and I apologize if I'm taking so much of your time. However, I understand that your patients want to be safe, and they deserve to be in a situation facilitated by the Medical Carson Clinic, which is obligated to do so, as a matter of fact, to put your patients in a position where they can make a decision coming from informed consent. With misleading communications, nobody can make informed decisions for treatment. And this will be tried in court, ma'am. I'm just trying to protect your physicians. I don't think your physicians do understand what they are communicating in their written mass emails to I don't know how many thousand patients. How many thousand patients have received this communication, ma'am?
Well, that I don't know, ma'am.
It would be interesting to understand, you know, because what physicians...
I'll let Dr. Duong know of what happened, ma'am.
I appreciate it.
I'll let him know of our conversation, and I'll speak to him about this.
You know, physicians have a big responsibility in this.
Yes, and us nurses too, ma'am.
Of course, yes. That goes unsaid to me, and please understand, I very much appreciate your hard work, but I am very concerned, and it frightens me that you are just participating in what is top-down, indoctrinated from our dictatorial government right now. There is no reflection by the clinic, and I would very much expect that from my physicians, that they critically review what is, you know, centrally advised, which is somebody coming from Germany, and who has very good knowledge about Nazi history of the oppression in Germany. This is a red flag as it is. Centralized health organization has to be reviewed carefully, and I absolutely don't see the Carson Medical Clinic do any of that. And that is wrong. And again, you will be liable in court for that later on. Again, thank you very much for taking the time.
I heard your concern, but I really have to let you go. We have a lot of patients to attend
That's fine.
Okay?
That's fine, Corinne. I hope you have a great day.
Of your concern.
I appreciate that. I hope you have a great day.
You too.
Bye for now.